Hi. So I'm going to do something a little different, something I haven't done in a while. I was going to basically talk about my. This is going to talk about my memories from my childhood trauma, basically, and this is going to talk about that one. I haven't talked about any. I'm just going to talk best as I can remember. And last time I was talking through them, I was still going through everything, getting everything out, and talking about them to Dad and using him as my unpaid therapist for the next past years and non-stop. Because it's hard to find a good therapist that can actually be competent now these days. I was trained to be a therapist, so I had to find an actual one that's trained to do it, that's competent. So, it's been, I don't know how long since last time I talked about my trauma, so I think I want to start with the beginning, and, where do I want to? I would like to start with the beginning, and so well, maybe I have to start out of the order. Those who actually seen my show before notice I'm a lot louder and more cussing and violent behavior come across towards in my older videos, and more, and also not as chattery too, besides louder when I do talk. And this was like in the first year, the really old videos when I started, so. And that was because, I was talking about trauma on my show, and also in person, it was my dad. Didn't stop that, now I'm doing it again, so, I'm talking on the show again, so, yeah. So, your card was the update of everything I gave. I list how I've been doing now. And, I'm also a little, I'm still having trouble with my OCD obsessing over my past childhood trauma. It's like the ones that my biological mom and the boyfriend she wanted to marry and did leave Dad, but not to marry him, although they did talk to me a few times. They did kind of directly ask me a few times whether I'm okay with them getting married, and I didn't. I was kind of freaked out because I said, no, I was kind of freaked out because I was afraid I was going to get punched for saying such things, because I didn't feel like I was in the safest environment because of those two. And, I was afraid to, so I was just, stressed out, OCD up, I was just so stressed out. The guy's name was Vinny, and, his full legal name I found out it's pretty, I found out, he's retired as a cop. He's retired now as a Medford cop now. From Medford now, he's retired. And the motherfucker has his Facebook account. He just looks as mean as ever to me. And as nasty. Vinny does. I'm sorry, what... I hate Vinny's last name, DiStefano. Stupid last name. That sounds fake. Vinny DiStefano. What? That sounds like a fake name. I just hate his name. I hate him. I'm sorry, I'm really sad over the physical and verbal and abuse he gave me on a daily basis, living with him and Mom. Often, whenever he was in the house. He did it to both at the same time, verbally and physically. He often got angry at me and yelled at me and said a bunch of cuss words to me. He often said the F-bomb a lot. I don't know why. He did that as I was getting punched in the head, and yeah, I started living with him when I was 5, and I didn't stop living with him when I was 13. In 2010, the same year I was going to turn 14. Yeah, so... I think that my mom just said I deserved it. And she calls that discipline. So does Vinny. Why is punching me in the head, punching a 5-year-old in the head discipline? Multiple times while calling him a loser, a fucking loser, and that he'll never amount to anything I can and say because and says I can do whatever I want because I'm a cop and I'm the law. He would say to me often. I don't know why he said it so loud while you hurt me continuously in the head. For many years he did that. 7 years I lived with him and Mom. Started living with him in 2003. And that was the same year I turned 6, 2003. Well, it's the same year my 6th birthday happened, and that wasn't a good moment, my 6th birthday, my actual 6th birthday, because, you know, Mom's family came over, and Paul was, was my Uncle Paul. He was in back of my head, and it felt like it felt like he slammed my head on the table, and next thing you know, my 2 front teeth went back, and it came out randomly after I finished after my head got slammed on the table. And you know what? I don't understand. How was it funny? I don't understand why Mom's family and Mom laughed at me. Why did everyone laugh at me on my birthday? I don't understand. I don't understand people like that. And I still don't understand that. yesterday. Why they were laughing at me after I lost my two front teeth. Around the same age at 6, after my 6th birthday happened, Uncle Harry, he also traumatized me by forcing me to watch the stupid Matrix fart parody video. And the internet was like going on, was not working well. And Uncle Harry forced me to watch this video when I wanted to just like hang out and play video games and watch television with AJ and Nikki and there and the other and Chris and hang out with them. And I don't know. I just wanted to do something fun instead of doing something stupid like watching some YouTube video that's just someone making someone edited 5 sounds of the Matrix movie, the first one. It's just stupid, and he just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he wouldn't let me leave. He friended me to stay and watch it, and he said to me if I need to stay and watch it if I know what's good for me. I was only 6, and I don't know. Around the same age as 6, Mom left, and Vinny left me home alone for a few weeks, a bit. Don't know how long. I kind of lost track. But, right at the moment, it's somewhere in here, so, and I was like 6 at the time, and AJ was not home with me. He's my big brother. My 2-year-old big brother, who's 2 years older than me. And he was only 8 at the time. And I was like just 6 at the time, so. And they just told me that they need to take a little holiday away from me. So that's why they're going on a cruise without me. And without AJ. So, and need a holiday from us kids, they said. And so they took that holiday. And brought a picture back. A few pictures back. Remember? And then they were discussing on getting married at that age when I was 6, and this was a very toxic, abusive environment to me. That was a lot of stress I was going through. So, I just didn't want them to get married, and I just didn't want that to happen. I don't know if they don't often tell me stuff. Okay, they're the kind of people that will go behind my back and not tell me anything, and just do it without telling me that they did it or where they went. It's like. And, I think, so, I mean, as far as I know, they never got married, but, who knows, maybe they did, and I didn't know about it. Who knows, so they didn't get married, but they did talk about getting married, when I was 6 a lot in that year. And I was stressing out, and I kept on worrying about, that happening, and over years, never stopped worrying that it's happening. Also at 6, I believe I took a trip to Florida, okay? I'm playing Mama, she just gave me several of my medications that she was asking Dr. Blumenthal to prescribe those to her often. And there were like several different medications she had me on, and I just started to feel sleepy after too many. So I took like a few snooze, and then I woke up, I had to go to the bathroom, and then Mom was pissed that I had to go to the bathroom, so she was being a pain in the ass to me, that saying I go and wasn't listening to me. So she can be a bitch. And then she so she takes me to the bathroom, and then when we get in the bathroom, she says to her, it feels like we just started, so we had to hurry up and get back in our seats before the planes land in. But I didn't notice anything about the plane feeling like a land. I think Mom was just making stuff up in her head. Because the planes seemed saying the same, felt the same thing. The way, I don't know why. I didn't notice the plane that much difference in the plane. It felt the same to me, the balance, you know? Wasn't it? So then Mom gave me more medication of my medication again, of those several different kinds again, and I fell asleep again. Then I woke up in a wheelchair, and then I got my hamster buddy and the rest of my stuff, and then I remember walking to a hotel room with Mom, and it was late, and then I remember waking up, and then I asked how long I was sleeping for, and what time. I just didn't know if I was slept, and she says, she just said it was just a few days me sleeping. At that age 6, so in the hotel, so during that time I was sleeping. She said 3 to me, so I don't know how honest she was being, or she was just trying to stress me out more, or if she was serious. Because with my mom, I can never tell when she's lying or being honest with me. That's the problem with every single lie with her. She's one of those people, so luckily she's a little underground now, 6 feet underground, and passed away in 2010 due to ALS. And so now I don't have to be afraid of her anymore being interfering with my life and making my life a living hell. So that's good. And also 2003 to 2007, I think, is when me and Mom and Vinny was living in the first Medford location. Then we moved to a different Medford location in a different house, apartment. Basically, it was a little, yeah. So which was after we moved out of the second Dover house with Mom and Vinny, and AJ was living with us, so. For a period of time, we lived still in the Dover house. I'm sorry, I'm just getting sad, over the memories that Vinny would, toss my body down the stairs when it stopped doing, he just was so angry at me. He wouldn't stop abusing me with stuff like those kind of violent acts, because I think he hates me, because he said that to me at least one time. That's 6. Not sure what day that was right now. So from 2003 to 2007 or 8, whenever we moved to the second Medford house, is when it stopped of him tossing me downstairs. Normally, is when he stopped doing that to me. Which was 2007. Either or, one of those years. I can't remember that now. During those years when I was getting thrown down the stairs, and I reported to this school called Columbus School, to the principal, Miss Berry, but she didn't believe me. I don't know why. It's probably because she hates me like Vinny does. And since I'm a loser and never won't amount to anything, why should I show her? I guess I don't know what it's sad. And try not to get too sad right now. Sue's friends Miss Barry's friends was Vinny. Shopping glowed about it, helping buddies with Vinny. It's just to my dad. I found out, besides just me, it wasn't just me, she told that too, so. And she's good friends with me and knows Vinny well. Better than me. And knows that I'm just a troublemaker kid. And no good at anything. Yeah. Miss Berry was really mean to say that to me. I don't know. She's just a dick to everybody. So yeah, she never believed me, and neither Miss Keon, my other teacher, that was my kindergarten teacher, second time for taking kindergarten in Columbus School. I went to it for the time. And nobody did anything. It's kind of sad. I don't know what. Why? I'm just a little sad that nobody listened to me. So, I never had any friends growing up that were my friends that came over to my house. In the 7 years living with Vinny and Mom. And I never got invited to anybody's place to hang out with them. They were my friends, so I never hang out to anybody outside of school during 7 years, and I wasn't allowed to, and make friends or hang out really that often. That's just how I felt at the time. I felt like I couldn't because I didn't feel safe at all in my own home for 7 years. Never did once felt happy or safe or peace of mind or anything. I just felt miserable and pain. Often, too often. Times like those happen too often, regularly. I mean, there were some good times, but none of them were with them. They were just with my pet hamsters and my dog, Rocky. Which Vinny couldn't get the name right. He always called him Rocco instead of Rocky. And he always called him that dumb dog instead of his actual name. And tell him to shut up. Shut up, you fucking dumb dog, he says. He always says stuff like that to Rocky. I don't like how he mistreated Rocky. And I don't like how he put a shock on him just to laugh at him whenever he got shocked by